Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gold Crush List Review Show, an incredibly exciting tournament coming up this Sunday in Ballarat. This is one of the most generous player packs you will come across. You will see teams built in the manner which you have never seen before. We are still in a very early stages of this new Season 3 of Blood Bowl, and as you are about to see, things have changed a lot. Teams you will think that there would be lots of are gone. Teams that last year were dominating are down the bottom, but on the other hand, new factions have risen up. And I think you're going to be very surprised to see the spread of who's chosen what. Overall, there's no denying that we're in the bash era, but one faction is holding it down for the more dodgy and devious players. Let's get into it. First out the gate, we have Bradley Murphy's Darabin Divas, the first of two Amazon teams. Now, he's been able to afford all positionals and quite a few skills, but at the cost of only one reroll. What is noticeable about this list is we have seen wrestle spam here, with wrestle across 3 line women and both blitzers. Now, that's not something I've seen before. The hero of this list is going to be a ball hawk warrior blocker. We have an edge increase, so 2+ edge with break tackle, and then tackle for once she gets in there, and of course dodge built in. And then the other warrior blocker is also decked out a bit with block, guard, and stand firm. An interesting Amazon's list. Let's see how it stands up to this tournament meta where we've got mass tackle and mighty blow. Should be interesting. Now, the second of these two Amazons lists by Kane Tucker is a little bit more traditional. It's gone the effective option of choosing block 8 times across his list. So that's 8 blodgers combined with 3 rerolls plus leader and 13 players. It's balanced, it's effective. His hero blocker piece has break tackle, guard, mighty blow, tackle, and pro, which is maybe not the uber ball hawk that we saw in Bradley's list, but it's still probably willing to jump in there and have a crack on a 2+ with a reroll. So maybe he won't be cage diving, but overall the defensiveness of this team is no joke. But again, with tackles spread around this tournament so liberally, I wonder how much that armor 8 will stand up to the punishment. All right, next we have a funny looking list. It's a Bretonian list. Hard to know exactly what to make of it here. It's Nubs 11 is the player, so maybe that's Nubs. And he's got all positionals. So 2 Grail Knights, 2 catchers, 2 throwers, and then 1 extra squire. Nothing really stands out. The Grail Knight is his hero. He's given it a strength upgrade and then guard, frenzy, and pro. The other Grail Knight has guard, tackle, mighty blow. The other positionals have all been given block and then a combination of either dodge, leader, sure hands. He's also got kick and another tackle in there. So overall, there's nothing that really stands out as, a super powerful killer guy or a ball carrier or a ball hawk. He's got two rerolls, I believe. Let's just check. Yeah, 2 rerolls. So overall, it doesn't look like a very effective list. It's just look, he's got 6 block, so maybe that'll carry the day. Maybe steady footings will be what does it for him. We'll see, but yeah, it just doesn't look like it's as effective as you might hope. This here is the first of 2 Chaos Chosen lists, and it's by Dinosaur Boy. This is pretty cool. Claws. Claws is the name of the game here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of the 4 Chaos chosen blockers will be having claws, and 3 of them will also have block on top. He has taken a dedicated ball carrier, which is a beastman with 2 heads and extra arms and block. He's got 2 rerolls, and his hero is going to be the Minotaur with Stand Firm, Iron Hard Skin, claws, of course. So actually that's a total of 5 claws on the team. And Prehensile Tail. Perhaps the idea here is that the Minotaur blasts into the corner of the cage, and then with Stand Firm and Prehensile Tail, you fail your dodge away. Well, all I know is that if I had an Armor 10, perhaps an Orc team, and I came up across this roster of claws everywhere, and suddenly I had an Armor 8 Orc team, I'd be a little worried. All right, this is the other Chaos Chosen team by Simon Dunbar, I think I saw somewhere. And this is looking a little bit spicy, actually. So off the top, he's chosen 7 block spam. We've got tackle wrestle on a couple of the Beastman linemen. No tackle mighty blow combo, so I don't know if that's maybe missing something. One of his Chaos Chosen blocker has block, guard, and mighty blow though, so there's your mighty blow. He's got a handy little ball carrier, which has taken sure hand and big hand and block. If I'm not mistaken, big hand will prevent strip ball being used against him, and he's probably got ball hawk cage diving on the brain, because this is a prime example of something you could really only build in Gold Crush. He's got a chosen blocker, 2 heads, and break tackle. So we're looking at Edge 0+ by default when he's dodging in. It's got dodge, so with a reroll, so something like a 3 up with a reroll into a normal cage, and when he gets there, strip ball and wrestle. How do you like that? So then he has Mr. Thomas, the big hand lineman, to pick up the ball when it spills out. 3 rerolls. So overall, to me, this looks like a really, really solid list. Something to watch out for. Actually, big hand ignores all modifiers when picking up the ball. So yeah, that's what I meant. What have we here? It is Phabos with his Chaos Dwarves. On first glance, it doesn't look like you get all that much in here. He does have all the positionals, including 2 Bull Centaurs and the Flamesmith and the Minotaur, even a Sneaky Stabber. Now the Minotaur, he's removed the Nega trait, so that's handy. On his Chaos Dwarves, he's got 2 tackle, 2 guard, and they've all got block as well, built in. And then the Bull Centaur. One of the Bull Centaurs has been turned into his hero. The big thing is he's upgraded to movement 7. Of course, we've got sprint and sure feet. So you do have a movement 10, strength 4 ball carrier. And he's given block and mighty blow, as well as sure hands. And I guess the only downside there is it's your ball carrier and your sort of punchy man. So I wonder if that's a bit of an issue. His other Bull Centaur, he's given break tackle. So that's dodging on a 2+, which is handy as well. I also see that across the team, only 4 of his whole team of 12 actually have Iron Hard Skin. And then half the team only have Armor 8, all the Hobgoblins and stuff. So I worry it's not as sturdy as you might hope. But in any case, it will be one more team knocked off his list of playing one new team every tournament this year. So good luck there, Lucas. Next up, we have the first of 3 Dark Elf lists. And the first here is by Fleabag. And I love this. He's got a Witch Elf with an improved edge. So 1+ edge, wrestle, strip ball, leap. How good's that? Overall, he's grabbed 2 Blitzers, 2 Witch Elves, The rest are linemen and still fit in 3 rerolls. Only 11 players, of course. He's grabbed dodge on both the blitzers. One of the linemen has kick, and his other witch elf he's given juggernaut tackle. So overall, some fun things, especially his hero witch elf, but looking a little bit sad compared to the dark elf lists that we're used to. Dark elf list number 2 is quite different. Instead of he's gone all positionals, including 2 assassins and a dark elf runner on top of the 2 witches and 2 blitzers. This is Train's list, by the way. He also has gone for an Edge 1 plus witch elf with wrestle and strip ball. Only 2 rerolls, but he's got leader on the runner. And then a bit of a punchy blitzer with tackle and mighty blow. Dodge on the other dark elf blitzer, and the other witch elf has block too. Again, no bench, so overall looking pretty sparse compared to some of the other teams we've seen. And almost half the team is only armor 8. But elves will do elf bullshit, as we know. The final dark elf list has gone in a completely other direction. This is Cameron's, and he's grabbed a strength 4 dark elf blitzer with tackle, strip ball, and dodge. His other blitzer also has tackle and dodge. He's given his witch elves wrestle and block, and again he's grabbed a dark elf runner with leader and dodge. No assassins. I wonder what he's thinking with their strength 4 blitzer. How's that? I guess if he does jump in to the cage, strength 4 with strip ball, maybe he's getting 2 dice plus tackle. Well, in any case, good luck to the dark elf faithful. Now we have the first stunty team, which will be Xenopho's gnome team. They've got all positionals, 2 treemans, 2 foxes, all of everything. Overall, 13 gnomes, as well as Acorn the squirrel, and 2 rerolls. Both his trees are guard, block, and dodge. I suppose using dodge defensively more so than trying to dodge around with 5+ edge. In fact, he's got so much dodge on this team. I think he's got 10 dodge. So, an entire team of wrestle dodgers. His hero is a standard gnome lineman that's been upgraded to Edge 2+, given dodge, sprint, and sure feet. Dewfoot, you might have some competition. This guy will be thrown across the pitch for some pretty good 1-turn ability. Speaking of Dewfoot, here is Baz's Fitzroy Friars. And Baz claims that this pack has given him everything he needs to create the ultimate halfling team, which of course is Dewfoot, a 2+ edge halfling, and Rodney Roachbait to get him the ball, Deeproot Strongbranch to throw him in for a touchdown. There you go, job done. But for some extra spice, he now is able to give his Treeman Bullseye, which is a reasonably effective method of getting a turnover. Hit the cage, get in there. It can work. He's also given both trees break tackle. So I guess he's dodging on I guess it's only a 2-up. Yeah. So I guess are they a 2-up dodging? If it's strength 6, edge 5, 4, 3, 2. Huh. And they've also been given block and tackle to do some damage. However, left with only 13 players, which is maybe a little on the low side, and only 2 rerolls. However, he does have the Master Chef and a cheerleader. Will this be the tournament that finally sees the Friars on top? Maybe. Next up, we have a fairly decent looking human team list by Griff. A really wide spread of skills. Almost every player has either block, wrestle, tackle. We've got catch, sprint, spread across the whole team. Leader. Now his captain is looking pretty good. Of course, he got block and tackle built in. as well as being given guard and mighty blow and pro. Pro, I think, being built in because he's the captain. On top of that, the other blitzer is the hero player, block tackle built in, and then guard, mighty blow, strip ball, break tackle, stand firm, fend. So he can really do a bit of everything. And I think since I last recorded it, came to my attention that stand firm now defends against strip ball. So this guy's also a great ball carrier. And to top it all off, he's also got 2 halflings to throw around with an ogre who has bullseye. So he's got that other method of turning the ball over. And that ogre has also got strong arm, guard, and stand firm. Sure, only 2 rerolls, but overall, this list looks pretty good. And I had the impression humans weren't maybe in such a good spot in general, but yeah, I'll be curious to see how this goes. The other human team, I don't know who the coach is, but I like they're called Normal Ass Humans. Also looking not too shabby with only 1 reroll, but a wide spread of skills. The ogre has only guard, so he's not going that throw halfling option, which I feel like is pretty good. However, he's got 2 human blitzers, just with grab on one and guard and break tackle on the other. So I'm starting to get a little confused, I'll admit. And then one of his catches is the hero player. And it's been upgraded movement, which is pretty good, as well as sidestep and sprint. So very one-turnsy, sure hands as well as block and pro. And for a little extra fun, one of the human throwers has been upgraded passing to 2+ and given Cannoneer and Cloudburster, which I think we can all agree is pretty excellent. All right, now we've got the Spirit of Blood Bowl, Mick Baker, with his Imperial Nobility team. Again, another team with only 1 reroll and no leader, so that's pretty edgy. He's spamming the guard here, which makes sense on a control team like this. He's got 5 guards spread across his team, reasonable amount of block as well, and it looks like it's his Noble Blitzer that has been upgraded to the hero with a +1 strength. So it's a strength 4 blodger with catch and pro. Sorry, he does have leader. I see it there in the other column. Bit of frenzy, bit of tackle. I'm not super experienced with nobility teams, but I do know they always perform a little better than you expect. Now, here we have the other Imperial Nobility team from the tournament by Alexander G. And again, 1 reroll only, leader, but also Carla Von Kill, star player. So a different way of getting that strength 4 blodger. Kind of similar result though. And the hero is going to be the Noble Blitzer with a sort of shotgun of skills here. We've got dodge, sprint, sure feet, break tackle, steady footing. The other Blitzer also has steady footing, which I don't know if that's a skill I would choose first, but geez, if you have a turn where a steady footing actually procs, it might really turn things around, especially if you're dodging away on a 2+. I can't remember if I mentioned 4 times guard as well on all the bodyguards. And a decent amount of tackle, 2 tackle. Maybe I should be specifically mentioning it, but basically all these lists are affording all positionals. Okay, we have Jinx the Madman bringing the only Khorne team of the day. He's got the 4 Bloodseekers, and he's got the big guy, the Bloodspawn, and 1 Khorne Gore. 3 rerolls, no bench. Now, he's got 4 guard spread across his team, and 4 block as well. One of the Bloodseekers has been turned into a super murder boy. with Mighty Blow, Horns, Claws, Guard, Tackle. I'm kind of surprised not to see Break Tackle on there because I feel like that hero guy's just going to get tied up with chaff. Corngore has extra arms, so he's probably going to be picking up the ball. And surprisingly, he's got Wrestle, which probably doesn't go that well with picking up the ball. So if you're playing against this team, the main thing is just watch out for that Mighty Blow Claws combo. All right, up next we have Mr. Liam Colston, and he is playing Lizardmen in what looks to me like a very conventional list with block across every Saurus blocker and a Croxigore with block, pro, and break tackle. Only one reroll, but he does have a team mascot as well as leader on one of his chameleon skinks. And that's about it. I was sort of thinking, will he be taking any secret tech? But this is absolutely meat and potatoes, a classic list. And he hasn't seen Juggernaut as any reason not to take block. Keep it simple. I suppose what's maybe a little different to normal is that this is a lizard man list with absolutely everything lizardmen need to work, plus an apothecary. I should also point out that one of the Saurus blockers does have, as well as block, Frenzy and Tackle. So that guy's going to do some work. And for anyone who doesn't know, if your team rerolls cost more than 50k, then a team mascot is basically something you should really be taking if it fits in any way to your cash. All right, up next is the 5 Nurgle teams, the new hotness of Blood Bowl 2025. And looking through these lists, I can see why. This first roster is by Big Head. He has 11 players, all positionals, but no bench. However, and also no apothecary, but he does have a keg. He's mostly skilled up his bloaters with 3 block and 1 with guard. The rot spawn also having guard. He's gone ahead and given one of his rot alignment monstrous mouth. So that'll be interesting to see how this new chomped effect plays. I haven't seen it in a game yet. One of his pestigores has extra arms, so that's going to be the ball carrier, which is good, but I feel like he's a little underskilled with just only extra arms to help him there. However, that's all right because the hero pestigore is next. He's grabbed 2 heads and break tackle. So straight away, that's a 1+ edge player. And then he's got dodge, block, and strip ball. So he's probably doing double duties as the usual ball carrier plus the cage diving monster. And that other pestigore with the extra arms is just for the ball recovery. So yeah, super solid list. Not to mention that pestigore I mentioned with horns built in, so when he does get in the cage, he's actually a strength 4 piece. So overall, and you'll probably see this a few times in these Nurgle lists, you've got a super resilient control list with a piece that's more effective than a war dancer at cage diving. Let's see the next one. The second Nurgle list is Gav, Grey Squirrel, and he's taken a somewhat different approach. He's gone block spam. All bloaters and 2 pestigores have block. Oh, sorry. The rot spawn also has block as well as stand firm. So it's just a wider, more traditional list and really works well with that control factor that Nurgle have naturally. He also has 4 times guard spread across his team, as well as a monstrous mouth. One of the pestigores has sure hands, so that's his probably default ball picker-upperer. But then His Pestigore, instead of the cage diving Pestigore, this is a pure killer. Tackle, frenzy, juggernaut, claws, mighty blow. So instead of going for turnovers, he's just going to hold you up and start murdering your team. Probably pretty effective. Only downside is he doesn't have a super effective ball carrier, and maybe will here and there just fail to score the touchdown with a bit of bad luck. Next Nurgle list is Sweeto. So already we can see 3 for 3 of filthy power gamers jumping onto Nurgle here. He has all positionals but no bench and 2 rerolls. He's also gone with block spam across all 2 Pestigores and all his bloaters. He's chucked a monstrous mouth in there. Interesting that each of these lists has just chosen 1 times monstrous mouth. All right, hold the fort. I've just noticed this monstrous mouth also prevents strip ball, which is massive because, you know, this well, I guess a bloater's not going to be carrying the ball, but geez, you'd be tempted to put it on your ball carrier just because, you know, you put him around inside a cage with guard and yeah, no strip ball. But it looks like since it's just on the bloater, monstrous mouth will here be used just to be purely annoying and lock down opponents. My list is going to suffer at the hands of this, as we'll see later. Now, again, like the previous list, it's the Pestigore that has gone full hero mode, and it is block, tackle, mighty blow, claws, juggernaut, pro. So it's the murder version of the list. Yeah, the sheer amount of strength, guard, and block on these lists. I'll be interested when we get to, say, the orc lists, whether they can match this or if any other team can. Maybe shambling undead will give them a run for their money. Another thing is it's been pointed out that Nurgle, in a way, is an anti-bash list because you hit them and with all their inbuilt skills, the stand firms, the pick-me-ups, the disturbing presence, or what is it, foul appearance, you know, you're going to try and hit them and they're going to end up hitting you back on your turn. They're not going to be on the ground. All right, onwards. This next Nurgle list is by Morka and has all the goodness of the previous 2, just in a different layout. We've got block spread across all positionals. We've got a couple guard, maybe a bit less than some of the other lists, just the 2. And now we have both killer, which is the bloater with block, claws, mighty blow. We have a second bloater that has block, monstrous mouth, and pro. And I can see now why all these Nurgle lists are choosing monstrous mouth. It's because, you know, they're so unlikely to lose their tackle zones and be able to maintain monstrous mouth with the combination of stand firm, foul appearance. And not only that, all going well, you can actually monstrous mouth and chomp more than 1 player, which I only recently found out. Anyway, so that's why it's particularly good on these Nurgle players. And last of all, we have the scoring threat Pestigore with big hand, block, break tackle, dodge, monstrous mouth, 2 heads. So you're not going to be able to use strip ball against him, and he's dodging everywhere on a 1+. You know, pretty nasty. And then the other Pestigore also has block and tackle. Apologies, there's actually 3 guard on his list, so it's not really lacking for much. And the final Nurgle list is by Josh. And, well, for starters, he's chosen block 7 times and 2 times guard. Got a couple Mighty Blow on the bloaters. One of the Pestigores is his Smasher, who has been given an additional Tackle Mighty Blow. And his hero player is a Pestigore, which on top of block has Dodge, Leader, and Sure Hands. Just 2 rerolls. And it's interesting, this list on the face of it feels like it has a little less than the previous 3. There's no one player who's going to really make off with the ball or be a ball hawk or even a super killer with claws and Mighty Blow. However, 8 times block spread across your team should do pretty nicely. He has got 3 times Mighty Blow spread across. And I do wonder if that might be a little bit overkill. All right, now for a change of pace, we have our first Ogre team. 5 Ogres, 11 Noblars. Only one of the Noblars has any skills, which is Lethal Flight. The first 2 Ogre blockers have Guard and Block. And then he has an Ogre blocker, which will be throwing people. It's got Bullseye and Strong Arm, as well as Break Tackle. Geez, it would be tempting as an Ogre player to put Break Tackle across your whole team and have the Elf Ogres all dodging on 2+. However, the hero Ogre blocker here has been given Break Tackle, Block, Dodge, and Stand Firm, and an Edge upgrade to 3. So that is an Edge 0 Ogre. Although, unfortunately, he's not got any, doesn't have tackle or anything. So I wonder, is this going to be a cage diving Ogre? I guess the cool thing is, with strength 5, if you do get in there, you probably have 2 up on the ball. And I suppose he's a good ball carrier too. Could be hard to get the ball off this team once they've secured it. All right. This next team, you're not going to see one like this too often. It's Rec Grant's Ogre team. Starts off, he's got Guard, times 6, 1 for each Ogre. That's about where things stop being regular. Every single Noblar has got Sprint, of course. And then we have the Punter, which stat upgrade. We're choosing Pass for the stat upgrade. 3+ passing. Also has been given Accurate and Pass. And then Leader and Stand Firm. So 2+ passing with a reroll. I guess he's, I don't know if he's trying to throw for lots of 1-turns or more likely he's throwing a lot of Noblars at people's heads. But then he hasn't chosen Bullseye. So I'm not sure what the plan is here. We shall see. And looky here, we have even a 3rd Ogre team. This one by Ryland Davies. Now this team has only 4 Ogres, but look down the bottom. It's your friend and mine, Morg, who I notice now has Bullseye added to his skill list. Now his normal Ogres have 3 times block, 2 times guard. And then his hero Ogre has Strong Arm and Bullseye for more. And then also he's had the Bonehead Negatrait removed, as well as Leader to add a reroll. Now he's got 2 rerolls. I'm always curious what attracts people to play Ogres. It seems like the most just frustrating team to use. Kind of similar to Vampires, but not even that good, really. I'm curious what's the best performance Ogres have ever had at a tournament, in Victoria, say. Now we look at the Orc rosters, of which there are 4 coming to Gold Crush this year. The first of which is Dun and Zeds. You look and straight away see only 1 reroll, and I suppose when rerolls are competing with skills, you're going to see less of them in the tournament. And I've noticed quite a few lists with only 1 or 2. This has Leader as well, but still. He's grabbed all positionals, including the Troll, and has a 12th player of a goblin. He's given every positional that doesn't already have it block, and then the 2 blitzers have tackle and frenzy. And then, interestingly, he's given every line orc guard, being 5 in total. The troll gets block and stand firm, and his blitzer becomes the hero player, and it's been given a strength upgrade to strength 4, as well as mighty blow to go with its tackle. It's also the team captain, so has pro built in. This looks like a really well-balanced and dangerous orc list. I'd be worried about having to play against this. He's even got an Apo, so good luck getting him down players. Maybe some of these claw teams we saw earlier will cause him grief. Here we have Adrian Stacey, and he has taken orcs. Again, 1 reroll only, as well as leader. All positionals plus the goblin. Now he's distributed block into his lineman instead of guard. However, his biggins and blitzers all have guard as well. So I believe every player on this team has block, and he also has 5 guard on it. His team captain is an orc blitzer with guard, mighty blow, tackle, and pro. And his hero orc has guard, mighty blow, tackle, juggernaut, pro. And this is the definition of an all-round strong roster. It'll be fascinating to see how this sort of orc team comes up and plays against the Nurgle teams. Next up, we have Johnny Bravo, who is playing his 100th NAF tournament game at Gold Crush. He too is playing orcs, and you'll notice this list is a little different. He has a star player, Ripper Bolgrot, a strength 6 troll. However, he has had to make some sacrifices to fit that in his team. You'll notice he has much less block and guard than the 2 previous rosters, and a couple of his orc linemen are being replaced by goblin linemen. He's given his 2 orc blitzers pro and tackle, and the other one pro. And since he's only got 1 reroll, he's also taken leader on the orc thrower. His untrained troll has been given guard, and he's made his big unblocker a captain. And I think that is also his hero player. It is. And he's given it block, tackle, break tackle, dodge, and pro. The big orc thinks it's an elf. So I wonder whether that star player, Ripper Bolgrot, who costs 250,000, is worth 12 skills, 12 copies of block or guard spread across your team. Our final orc list is from Beefy. He has all positionals, as well as a spare lineman and a spare goblin on the bench. His hero player is actually his orc thrower, who has been given an armor upgrade, so up to armor 10, as well as leader, block, accurate, and pro. So leaning into some throwing game with his orcs. His troll has strong arm and guard. His 2 orc blitzers both have tackle and mighty blow. And his 2 big and blockers both have been given block and guard. He also has 2 rerolls, unlike the other 1 reroll orc lists. I feel like there's quite a few lists that are taking tackle and mighty blow to take out dodge teams that aren't actually here, whereas their main opponents will probably be actually other bash teams. And then what does your bash team do if you come across another bash team that has more strength, more block, and more guard? Tricky. I guess in this case you do accurate throws with your armor 10 thrower. Onwards. All right, we are now on Old World Alliance, the new powerhouse hotness of 2025 Blood Bowl. And who should be coaching this team except for Pathfinder James himself? So, what do you get in this new Old World alliance? Well, for starters, with rerolls costing 70k, James has taken the team mascot, the most efficient choice. We can see that even before choosing any skills, he has 6 players already with block built in. He has removed the nega trait Bonehead from his ogre, as well as given it block and guard, so it's become a super effective strength 5 piece running around freely, and it's only loner 3+ now. His human blitzer has guard, mighty blow, and pro. He's given his dwarf blitzer and troll slayer as well, both have guard. The troll slayer has mighty blow. But the amount of built-in skills they've got, for example, the Dwarf Blitzer has diving tackle and tackle built in. The Troll Slayer, Frenzy built in. Thick Skull, guard. The Dwarf Runner is movement 6 with sprint built in, as well as sure hands, block, leader. He's got 3 times defensive as built-in skills on his Dwarf lineman. This team just has an array of very useful skills before you even buy them anything extra. Not to mention, just I think it's going to be a challenge if you haven't played against this team very much, just keeping up to date with all the skills they're bringing to bear. This is one of the few lists that I have seen that looks like, yep, this could take on these Nurgle teams or these Orc teams with mass guard and block. So far, I would say this might be the roster to look at, the roster to beat. We now have another mighty bash strength team, the Shambling Undead, the first of 3 in this tournament. And this one is from Nick Kelly, or Magneto. Magneto? I don't know. So we have 12 players, 3 rerolls, the lineman on the bench, and he's actually taken a couple of skeletons today and given them block. All other positionals are here. He's gone 5 block spread across the team, across the mummies, 2 skeletons, and the ghouls. He's going for a cheeky little ghoul runner hero, Edge 2+ upgrade, sprint, sidestep. Now, this isn't going to be a one-turn threat with only movement 7, but, if his offense stalls, it's got a decent chance of making a break and getting that touchdown, which sometimes this team struggles to do. He's given his white blitzer Frenzy and the other white blitzer Mighty Blow. His mummies both get guard, one gets block, one gets stand firm. Overall, I feel like this team is a little bit underpowered. A little underpowered. Now, it makes up for it because it does have those ghoul runners for some speed and agility. And of course, the mummies do have Mighty Blow built in for some damage. But yeah, looks a little light on to me. 3 rerolls at least. This next Shambling Undead list is from Earn Bruiser. Of course, he's been able to take all positionals and also 3 rerolls. His white blitzer is going to be the hero of the team with break tackle, strip ball, and mighty blow. For my money, that's a bit of an odd combination, the strip ball and mighty blow. I feel like you should be either a ball, hawk, or a damage dealer, and maybe not both combined together. And his other white here has been given frenzy and also mighty blow. Both his mummies have been given guard and one has been given block. And now, so all things considered, that means he does have 4 times mighty blow across his team. His ghoul runner has been given sure hands and block, and his other ghoul runner has been given wrestle. And one of his skeletons has kick. I'm not really sure of the use of kick on such a slow team with such bad recoverability. All right, the third and final Shambling Undead is Olaf's Lost Crew. Okay, same as before, we got all positionals, a spare zombie, and 3 rerolls. We got a ghoul runner pretending to be a witch elf with a jump up and wrestle. And the ghoul runner hero here has been given a movement upgrade to get to movement 8, as well as block, sure feet, sprint, sidestep, leader. So, if you're good enough, this is a one-turn threat. He's given his white mighty blow and his other white frenzy. And of course, they both have tackle built in. And both his mummies have been given guard, one with defensive and the other with brawler. Yeah, I'll be very interested to see how these shambling undead do. I know they were always considered a very strong team, so maybe I'm missing something, but they just don't look like they'll stand up to your Nurgles or your Orcs. I do like that one with the Age 2 Plus Ghoul Runner though. Alright, and we have only 10 lists left to look at, and this is Ant Newham's Skaven, the only Skaven in the tournament. And unsurprising too, because Skaven are pretty sad in this new edition, up there with Dark Elves for the biggest drop-off. So we have all positionals, including 2 throwers and a 2 rat bench. Surprisingly, not that many skills here. This 2 throwers have block. One of the gutter runners has block and jump up. And the gutter runner has block, jump up, sprint, sure feet, and catch. Wow, this is so light on. I almost wonder if this roster is incomplete or is missing something. Maybe it's been updated since I've received this list. But as it is, this is a fairly sad affair. All I can say is gutter runners can make up for a lot. So you know what? He might just get a couple quick touchdowns and, anything's possible with a gutter runner. Apologies. I have found a second Skaven list. The Westgate Sewer Surfers by Lee Badfang Tressida. Well, straight away I see, again, this Skaven list also has 2 throwers, mysteriously. Maybe the absolute state of Skaven now, they're just like, that's the best positionals we've got. 2 positionals with nothing on them. Then we've got the first gutter runner has been given block, bend, and leap. The second gutter runner has been given dauntless, block, bend, sidestep, leap. Yeah, boy. The rat ogre seemingly only has break tackle. And then we have Acorn the rat squirrel. Again, I don't know if this is a complete list. Apparently it is. Got 3 rerolls, but oh my, this will be crushed. Just crushed. It's got nothing. I don't know. I hope that throughout this tournament, if nothing else, this coach can get some glorious leaps. Leap, leap, leap with your gutter runners. Many, many times. And have great fun doing that while they're still alive. Anyhow, onwards. Ooh, all right. Here we have a Snotling list from Andrew or Zagor. So what we got? Well, for starters, what stands out is we have pump wagons, which are pretty decent now. We have a fungus flinger and a stilty runner and 2 star players, one of which is Ripper Bolgrot, the strength 6 troll, and the other being Skitter Stab. So now this team has 5 players of strength 5 or 6. And the pump wagons are not secret weapons now, so they're not going anywhere. Not much cash left over and only 1 reroll on this team. And with spending all the money on star players, we do not have many skills purchased. The hero is one of his trained trolls, which has been given block, guard, and leader. Leader for an extra reroll as a secondary choice. And the other trained troll has been given block and guard. The pump wagons also both have block and pro, and another one already also has guard, just adding to the strength of this team. The fungus flinger has pass, so the bombs will be doing maybe a little work. And of course there is 1 snotling which has dirty player on. Overall, this kind of looks like a really solid team. A lot of strength out front where you need it. You might not even be able to get to these snotlings to hit them. And then, of course, you've got Skidder, who's always a touchdown threat at all times. And you can afford to foul with these snotlings. Yeah, I guess one reroll does make things suddenly go wrong. But I'll be really interested to see how well this list can do. Maybe the only thing lacking would be a bribe to go with. You've got 3 dirty player skills on this team, if you include the built-in pump wagon skills. We have a second snotling list, which is fairly chaotic. It's not even a PDF or anything. It's an internet link to his BB roster page. I'm not sure whose it is. It is very similar. It's got Ripper and Skidder as well. This one's got 2 Fungus Flingers, both with pass. Again, only 1 reroll with leader on the troll to get a second. And then 2 Pump Wagons with block. Only the 1 troll. It's got block. And a couple guard. And that is about it. But this team has invested the 150k to get riotous rookies to flood the board with snotlings. Roster number 36 is Metal Man's Tomb Kings. And they are looking pretty nice. Skills everywhere. Let's look at the linemen first. We've got block. We've got 2 linemen with wrestle and tackle. We have a thrower with leader and block, making a total of 3 rerolls for the team. Then we have, of course, the 4 Tomb Guardians. 2 have guard, 2 have mighty blow. They all have brawler. Built in, of course. Then we have a Tomb King Blitzer with tackle, strip ball, sure hands. This looks like a team that's hoping for some turnovers. And then we have the Hero Blitzer with tackle, strip ball, pro, sure hands, break tackle, and grab for some reason. So a pretty good looking list. I would say it might be leaning a little heavily on your wrestles and strip balls, but the sheer amount of skills you get, it's really good. And surprisingly, only 1 in the whole tournament for Tomb Kings. All right, this should be fun. We are up to the Underworlds lists. There are 4 coming to Gold Crush, and the first one here is by Dazed. 2 points of interest straight away. One is he's taken the Underworld Troll instead of the Rat Ogre. Also, he's only got 1 reroll. However, he does have a leader player and a team mascot. His Troll has guard. His Thrower has block and leader. His Gutter Runner, block, sidestep. He's gone block, block, then wrestle on the 3 clan rats. He's given an Underworld Goblin lineman 2 heads and guard. Now that's a neat little trick because a bit like with gnomes, he can now dodge in. Well, for him it's a 2+, no modifiers, and then he has guard inside your cage, laying a path for his Skaven Blitzer to come in, which is now movement 8, of course, and with strip ball built in for additional skills, 2 heads, so he's a 2+ dodger, then tackle, frenzy, and mighty blow. So he's getting in on you. However, no dodge on that player and no wrestle. So that's all that stops him being the ultimate bullhawk. Overall, this is a nice looking team, but I think we can get crazier. Apologies, almost this missed. He does have star player Skidder Stab on this team. Nice to have a second gutter runner, already much better than a Skaven team. All right, next up we have Geordie Cro-Mag's Underworlds team. So you know this is going to be something interesting. So Geordie, for step 1 of his spice, has grabbed Bomber Dribble Snot. Already, you know, that's a massive chance of getting turnovers. And with a gutter runner, you can always get the recovery. I notice he's gone heavy on Snotlings with 6 and only taken one goblin lineman. So a little bit unbalanced there and does lower the overall strength of his team. And like me, Geordie, which you'll see soon, Geordie has taken wrestle on all 3 clan rats. His thrower has been given block as well as leader to get him a healthy 3 rerolls total. His gutter runner, sprint, sure feet, block, and hit and run. Hit and run being a new piece of accessible tech that Geordie is right at the vanguard of, where technically a gutter runner can achieve a 1-turn without any pushes, just a go 1-turn touchdown. And I'm sure in other cases too, you'll be able to clear a path where normally you couldn't. Though interesting, no 2 heads on the gutter runner. Now his blitzer, dodge, guard, and of course strip ball and movement 8 now. Finally, his hero is going to be the mutant rat ogre with 2 heads, break tackle, block, and dodge. So break tackle puts him on edge 1, 2 heads, moves him to an edge 0+ rat ogre. But I think we can get crazier. Another postscript, he's also fit in a very useful bribe. And now we reach my Underworlds list. Let's check out my rat ogre. Just like Geordie, I've taken 2 heads and break tackle. But what's this? An edge upgrade. Oh yeah. So he's dodging on a -1 agility score. So according to my science, that should be dodging into a normal cage on a 2-up. I've also given Juggernaut, which is standard, and then a little thing I came up with, Iron Hard Skin, because, he is my hero, and I'm hoping this will keep him alive after he inevitably falls over and fails that 2-up. My gutter runner is also fairly souped up. I borrowed Geordie's good idea and gave hit and run to the gutter runner as well as sprint. And I also gave him extra arms so that if he's marking a player, or if a player is marking him when I'm trying to do the 1-turn, he can still hopefully grab it on a 2+ handover. My blitzer has guard, and I've given him 2 heads, so he's a 2-up dodger. My Skaven thrower has on the ball to help with the 1-turns and just general. It's good. As I said, all 3 clan rats have wrestle, and now I've taken 3 Underworld Goblin linemen, all with 2 heads. Basically, we're pretending to be elves here, so we can step away from the danger and not get failing those dodges and getting my whole team punched. Then I've got 4 snotlings. 1 has diving tackle because it's always funny if you get held up by a snotling and counters their titchy lack of tackle zone pressure. And then 1 snotling with dirty player. 2 rerolls and a team mascot. Looking at the previous list, I feel like my list has a lot less safety. There's a lot more fail points where, I don't have dodge. I'm not re-rolling as many things. I feel like there's a lot more that could go suddenly wrong, but it's going to be a long time, I think, in a tournament before I can make a big guy with edge -1. So I couldn't go past that. The final Underworld list is by Robert Last. He also has taken the Underworld Troll and removed its loner trait. Interesting to see if the Troll is now considered up there with the Rat Ogre. Certainly when I was building my list, I thought of the potential for throwing snotlings with the Troll as a way of getting turnovers. Okay, his gutter runner, he has only given, he's given block and 2 heads. His thrower has leader. His blitzer looks to be his hero. He's given it 2 heads, tackle, horns, throw, mighty blow, and grab. Which reminds me, for my list, I also gave my rat ogre horns. Just why not? Strength 6 blitzing. When he gets in the cage, he can still hopefully do some damage even when he's surrounded by guard. So I guess his blitzer is a general purpose smasher. But then, and maybe the grab is a method of helping him get the one turn without the rat ogre. Interesting choice. Now he's got 3 clan rats. One has block, the other 2 rookies. We've spoken about the troll already. He's gone with 3 goblins, and he's gone a mix of 2 times 2 heads, like I did, and chucked a dirty player on one of them. I wonder why he's put dirty player on the goblin instead of the cheaper snotling model. Maybe he thinks it'll last longer before being banged out. And then he's got a few snotlings with nothing. And finally, he also has taken Hackflam. So, again, doubling down on the gutter runners. And of course, this is a strength 3 gutter runner with all prehensile tail, extra arms. It's a good piece, but for 200,000. So, is it worth it? I'm not sure. And on top of all this, he's taken 3 rerolls as well as a bribe. So, looking at these Underworlds lists, I do think they're strong. I think that they are up there with some of the, in a different way, but the same level of effectiveness as some of the earlier Bash, Orc, and Nurgle teams, but operating in a different way. I do wonder if Nurgle might be a counter to them, just with the prevention of like passing and moving the ball, but maybe not. I mean, a lot faster. So, yeah, at this stage, and obviously this list is looking a lot better than the Dark Elf, and I think that's the only other This is the closest we've seen to an agility style list so far. Although we do have some Wood Elves coming up. And our final list is good old Bert with his Wood Elves. All right, so these guys do have 2 rerolls and an apothecary, 2 war dancers, both the same, both sidestep and tackle. We have a Wood Elf thrower with sure hands as well as leader. Only 1 Wood Elf catcher, and he has sidestep, sure feet, and block, and has been upgraded to movement 9. All the other players up to 11 are linemen, one of which has kick. So obviously this team has far less strength than most teams we've looked at, and a lot less skills, being such an expensive team. Oh, I'm sorry, he does have a bench of 1 lineman. Now I hear Wood Elves are still right at the top of the meta, but looking at this list, I just don't see the effectiveness against most teams they're playing. These war dancers, sure, they'll do their thing, they'll leap in, but they're going to be going 2 dice uphill against basically every decent team they face. There's very limited dodge on this team, so say they all get based, it only takes 1 bad roll and the entire team is going to get smashed up for a turn. The movement 9 catcher is interesting, but still only at strength 2, so it's, look, it's got sidestep, so there's your 1 turn possibility and just general score ability. Still, it's always, the skills are lacking, but the stats are there. Minimum movement 7. This is by far the fastest team going around. And Edge 2. It's a real thing. All right, that's it, my friends. That is every list. Everyone, thanks so much for listening. I can't wait to see you. Oh, hi, Baz.
Hey, John, what's going on? We going to do the Gold Crush list review show? Are we going to start recording?